There are breakouts, and then there's breakouts. Yesterday was the breakout of breakouts, blowing away the all-time high, settling near the high and continuing. While there's a lot of breakouts, there's a lot of breakdowns too. Not everyone is participating in this rally. Maybe some of the newer stocks. So we'll talk earnings from SpaceX. AMD, what did AMD do wrong? We'll figure that out. Tons of other earnings to cover. We will talk to Blue Putnam at 8:35, and we will get to the bottom of this Japanese yen intervention by the U.S. Figure it out. Figure out the implications for that. But I was late, so we got to get going because we've got a lot of earnings to cover on pre-market.
The volatility right now is really incredible.
Wow, look at that consolidation on the upper right chart.
You know what we've seen this earnings season? Some of these expected moves get even more violent. This is why I have switched my strategy 10 years ago. And if you're chasing, you're in trouble.
Okay, guys, sorry I was a little late. I had to add another screen here to get room for the S&Ps, because the charts would just keep going up like that. These charts are brought to you by TradeStation. Born to trade, chart, analyze, customize, all in one platform. Trade smarter, move faster, stay in control with the platform built for serious traders and investors. Folks, there we are, 7,800. We're above 7,800. We're up 35 and a quarter handles, just trading. No resistance. When there's no resistance, there's no resistance. The buck down 15 cents at 99.58. Kind of trying to put a finger in the dike there after a pretty good decline. TLT off the low of the move with the double bottom up 28 cents, 83.10. USO in the middle of no man's land, up 61 cents, 116.39. GLD and SLV, they're both having good days. SLV outperforming, up 4.3%. That's $2.35 at 56.19. But man, that chart still looks ugly. GLD up 2.79%. That's 1044. That's at 384.60. Just trying to get back above the 50-day. And Bitcoin, do we need to boot Bitcoin? I mean, it's always at 64,000. It's like it doesn't move. Down $225 at 64,260. So let's get this earnings bonanza started with Triple D. And Triple D, 15-20% moves, 25% moves. I mean, that's it.
What we do? Just go. Yeah, just crazy moves all over the place here. Shopify up 25%. They beat by 2 cents. Up 25%. Why not? Brenster, come on in here. We're going to get to why we're seeing such big moves here. But under the hood, I know the S&P's volatility seems muted. Oh, we grind higher here. Well, now we're exploding higher. We're not even grinding higher anymore. Full-on FOMO across the board, but not in a couple stocks reports. So I just want to ask you a question, Joel. If I would have said that AMD was going to be down 9% on their earnings and SpaceX was going to be down 11% on their earnings, the two biggest reports from last night, what would you say the S&Ps would be doing?
Back in the old days?
Before the bots took over and all the rotation took over? Yes. We'd be down. It'd be a tech wreck. We'd be like QQQ would be getting hammered. No, not in this market. We rotate, we find other things to buy. There's no everything sell-off. Qs are even green. Hell, they've even come back here too. But this is this market. It is, bulls are in full control here now. We have been on the S&P. Let's go to the SPY chart here one more time.
Okay.
This has been, like if you were caught short, there's been no pullbacks here for like 3 consecutive trading days. Back at the end of July, we hit 737. 750, 760, 770. Hell, we're going for 780. Look how straight up that is. There is no, on the chart on the left, look how straight up. Just like no pullback at all. Like there's been like a little blip maybe there, maybe a little bit on the third there, but there's been no pullback at all. That is valid. I wasn't looking at that chart. I was looking at the other one. Like that's
that's a 15-minute. But the reason that I wanted to make this chart bigger is like, okay, All right, we break out. I mean, we busted out. I mean, that is now. Now it feels like you're never going back down to that area, right? I mean, that's gonna be support, and that is what 760 in the SPY, and we're
Yeah,
trading 775.
yeah.
I mean, that I don't think I've seen a violent breakout from old time highs. Maybe Fee can dig up some statistics where you have just obliterated it. I mean, eh, by the margin it did, and
There's
it's
people
continuing
caught here.
today.
There are people caught short here.
Oh,
Michael Burry is caught short here. There are people caught short here. So
Yeah.
I think you would go into what we were saying in Think Tank last night. It's a buy the dip market, like full on. Sometimes we're sell the rip, sometimes we're buy the dip, and we keep the pendulum keeps swinging. You know, that's what we do. Boom, boom. We're gonna change our mind again. We go back and forth. Traders, you got to be constantly swinging here. But right now we're buy the dip, and I think you're gonna see dips across the board start to get scooped up here because this is the market where there's money managers that are underweight and they're going to look to dips to buy. I don't know if it's coming in SpaceX, but there are some dips to buy here this morning. Do they get bought? Eventually, I think so. I'm still long AMD, the small piece of SpaceX. I'd consider adding to my SpaceX, but let's start with SpaceX because AMD is fun, but SpaceX and Elon Musk is always really fun to talk about. So let's jump in. Let's jump into the numbers. Let's jump into the conference call because SpaceX stock is moving, but there's so many other stocks moving because of SpaceX. Let's talk it.
Sure. Okay, so the SpaceX report itself, I mean, this is the first report, so I don't know how clean the comparisons are that we have from the analysts, but I'll give you the numbers, I'll give you the comparisons, maybe take them with a grain of salt. I think the commentary on the call was more important than the report itself. SpaceX reporting Q2 earnings, a loss of 9 cents per share. Analysts were looking for more like about 25 or 26 cent loss. Sales coming in at 7.8 billion. Analysts were under 7 billion. All right, now to the call. So on the call, I believe the call started at 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. A couple important notable parts of the call. First, SpaceX effectively raised their sales guidance. They had expected 1 trillion in sales by 2031. Last night, Elon Musk, I believe it was Elon Musk, not the CFO, who said we are going to reach 1 trillion in sales by 2030. So that moves forward here. Now we have a comment that Elon Musk says that moves NVIDIA during the SpaceX call over $100 billion. That is the perspective. And those comments, Elon Musk saying that we are going to build using exclusively NVIDIA chips. And right when he says that, NVIDIA shares start rallying.
Load higher.
There on Joel's chart. Then let's get into here's the actual comment from Elon Musk on NVIDIA and Vera Rubin. We think the Vera Rubin architecture is the best architecture. We think it's the best AI computer, and we greatly value our close cooperation partnership on many levels with NVIDIA. So we're exclusive to NVIDIA. Other major implication here during the SpaceX call was on our mobile operators within the U.S. AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. They effectively tanked, I would say, during the call.
They did. Hammered.
As the CFO and also Elon Musk were talking about the potential for Starlink to, this was a quote that Elon Musk said, deliver a majority of the world's internet within 10 years.
Look at this AT&T chart.
Go to the T chart, yeah.
Boom.
Just hammered right on that.
Hammered. They're like, oh my gosh, we didn't see this coming. What the hell, man? This market doesn't see anything coming.
So
Ian was just shocked in the background at the moves because he's like, well, you don't think that this was thought? But yeah, continue, Brian.
Yeah, just one more part here from the CFO. The CFO saying that Starlink Mobile will begin operations at the end of 2027. They will acquire lots of T-Mobile and AT&T customers. That was the actual quote on the call. Also, the CFO said the spectrum that we purchased from EchoStar does have terrestrial components, so we will definitely intend to build out terrestrial. So yes, SpaceX moving on the SpaceX report, of course, but also NVIDIA moving, and all three of our AT&T, Mobile, and Verizon providers moving from the SpaceX call?
T-Mobile too. Yeah, bring up TMUS chart too. Same thing. Like, I mean, they docked it down $9 last night on this, Joel. Like, this is again not imminent here. He's saying in the future we believe that Starlink can provide the most of the world's internet. So in the future, Starlink intends to try to disrupt AT&T and Verizon and T-Mobile, but it's not today. So it's not today. So these moves were crazy. I did buy AT&T. I put it in this think tank chat there last night too. Ed was great, saying, "Are these overdone?" I was like, "I think so." I bought AT&T and Verizon. I bought AT&T at 22.5 for a trade. I bought Verizon for a trade at 45. It's 46. I'm up $1. I'm up 50 cents on the AT&T. I will flip out of them today. Haven't flipped out of them yet, but I will flip out of them probably this morning sometime. These just was overshot, Joel. Like, I mean, these are two, these companies here, AT&T don't move like this. T-Mobile doesn't lose $8 on nothing. So I just sold my T-Mobile actually. These are big moves.
Oh yeah, 10 years is a long time too, right? I mean, it definitely. I mean, they come to fruition, but 10 years, you don't trade like 10 seconds, but that's your reaction.
They did though. They 10 years turns into 10 seconds for the algos. They just start hammering. I was in shock. I was like, John, I'm like, really? We're gonna knock Verizon down 4%, AT&T down 4% because Elon Musk is chirping about taking over all of the internet in the world. I mean, probably not happening tomorrow. So that was a dip buy opportunity. But go back to SpaceX here too.
Yeah.
SpaceX, because obviously he's talking the big talk. There's, big talk here. Musk always talks big talk, but the market's not listening here. Stock popped initially, and then they've just hammered it down. So despite AT&T and Verizon losing market cap, everybody's losing here, except for NVIDIA. NVIDIA obviously very strong here. What do you think on the SpaceX chart here? Now, I mean, we had a good couple of days. Stock went from 104 to 125, the classic run up ahead of the earnings, which we always talk about, which we trade. But now we dip, and we dip hard. And we have the lockup expiration coming tomorrow. So that's not, the best setup in the world to be buying the dip here if, a whole pile of people are going to be dumping stock tomorrow morning. I don't know. Thoughts? Like, I want to own more SpaceX, but I don't know if, the timing's here yet or not. Maybe it is, maybe you want to nibble a little bit, dollar cost average into it. I think Richard was saying in the chat, I think we're going to get it under $100, but, you don't know for sure. If it's at $50-$60, the thing's at like $600-700 billion market cap, you back up the truck. But at $1.4 trillion market cap on a company that's got a lot of prospects and a lot of businesses, and I believe Gene Munster said on CNBC yesterday. Gene says, "I think this is going to be the most valuable company in the world." I am with Gene. I think 10 years from now, SpaceX is the most valuable company in the world too. I think they're going to execute. I think there's going to be a lot of things. It's timelines though, and right now it's a lot of hopes and a lot of dreams, as opposed to, a lot of revenue. We do have Starlink revenue, and they do have some revenue. The Anthropic contract, obviously, selling, and they have a lot of business models here happening here. I like the concepts of all of this, but it's a lot of it's conceptual more than reality today. I believe Musk can accomplish this, but holy cow, this is not a screaming buy.
So you had a nice run up, right? Basically a 25-point move. Expected move was 18. So I think it's interesting that you haven't got to the expected move yet. And that just means that, people that wanted to own it and missed it on the run up ahead of earnings are stepping in. Also, if you were shortening the hole, just waiting for people that just a horrible report or big inside sellers, coming out tomorrow. This is kind of a little bit of a gift after this. I mean, it did trade up over 130 in the pre-market, which was nowhere near the expected move. But there's a firm buyer at 110 right now. He's there. She's there. They're there. You can see that in the pre-market. So I think someone's making a stand here. I wouldn't be at all giddy as far as a long-term recovery, just based on the last 2 days of price action. If good old SpaceX can regain 116, and I'm not just talking about trading up to 117 and down, but show willing buyers here at 116, and then I think it's the mentality of people, okay, it's not going to 100. I should have bought under 110. and see it. Yeah, it's see if they step up. So
I mean, I've been preaching under 100. It's where I wanted to buy a little bit more. I'm a little bit scared that I don't get it. And then I look back, and be like, man, because we know this market, if the story starts to grab, it doesn't matter at all. It's got the sexiest story out there at all. It just looks sexy in itself as well. The mass to orbit numbers. I mean, Brentster, you've listened to multiple podcasts on this.
Yeah.
So, just talk, you were talking yesterday, on obviously some different businesses here. There was a tweet that I read, and I didn't bookmark it there, but gentleman's going to be on CNBC talking about 5 different businesses here. And I'm like, this all sounds really cool. Problem is, it's all not today.
I know. Yeah, no, for sure. And this is, I just wanted to highlight a slide here from the SpaceX call or the SpaceX report. Consider that this is what SpaceX management is focusing on. Look, they're in their space segment, in their connectivity segment, and in their AI segment. Here's like their lead metrics. They are targeting total launches. They're targeting mass to orbit. For connectivity, they're targeting Starlink subscribers. They're targeting countries with Starlink coverage. And then for their AI, they're, targeting compute. So again, at least this is what the SpaceX management is focusing on. I don't know. I'll say it. I'm going to maintain. I'm going to keep maintaining this stance. If Elon Musk is the richest man in the world, and if this is how the richest man in the world wants to spend his money, he's going to do it. So I don't know how you're going to shake me in that belief.
And I think he's going to do it too. I think the timelines is going to be the issue here. So it's crazy. It's traded 10 million shares this morning. Like, I mean, if you wanted to just do a fun 50% retracement, Joel, of the recent move, 104 to 126, I mean, down 10, 12, like you're a little bit through it actually here. Right
You are. And you're not to the expected move, which was $18. So I just like taking all my opinions out of this thing and how crazy it was up at 200 and sell, and what's going on right now. Just looking at the charts. So sometimes you don't, you can get too complicated moving averages right now. Someone wants to stock at 110. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And they're not chasing. They're not paying 111.5. Well, they may be paying 112 right now. But look at when you came down here on the 15-minute. And I don't like to get too caught up. But, here's a stock. Doesn't have, much price history. Price has memory. Look at this 110 area before that, after it made its all-time low. So, it's looking here. And I'll, I mean, if you just, if you feel like you want to have to do a day trade in it and you feel that low is going to hold, well, looking at 112, you're risking $2. Have to see what happens off the open. But
I got to break in with this fee headline here, just as fun talk. DBGI, this just breaking here a couple minutes ago, receives at 8:18, receives a full Digital Brands Group announces the receipt of a $77.58 per share all cash proposal. The stock's $32, not going up. I'm like, what the hell is this? This is an interesting one.
The stock is going up. It's going up
it went up a bit, but everybody's like, so the stock closed at 21.63, Digital Brands Group, and they're receiving. This is just come press release here. Receiving, the company has received a proposal from an existing shareholder with a net worth of over $1 billion to acquire all outstanding shares of common stock for $77.58 per share in cash. This proposal represents a 258% premium over the company's current trading price of $21.63. This is interesting because the algos aren't even buying this one up to that price. It did go to 45. Just at 47. Now it's going down. Like, who made this proposal? Obviously, this is
who made
not
this
being given a lot of credibility here. Because they just gave a $77 bid, and the stock is going down and trading at 31. So I don't know. Like, I'm not sure, who this person is, the shareholder. Did they even say who the shareholder is?
No, it just says an existing shareholder. And the next paragraph that you didn't read there, Triple E, it says the board of directors, in close consultation with its recently retained financial advisor, will carefully evaluate the proposal to determine the course of action that is in the best interest of the company and its shareholders. I'll tell you what the best course of interest is.
This is just interesting. Okay, it's really bouncing around. It's really thin. The stock's only trade 86,000 shares here. We're not advocating this is going to $77.58. We're saying this is kind of a fluffy offer. Could we say, Brentster? We don't ever see a fluffy offer. This kind of sounds like a fluffy offer. You know, a shareholder. We just a shareholder.
Anonymous
We don't tell you who it is or anything like that. Like that would be like, man, I want to buy Stock Trader Network for like 10 million or $10 billion or something. You know,
like we'll take the 10 billion.
You said it. We're hitting the bid.
We got
really interesting to say the least. Maybe it's legit. I don't know. Market thinks it's not legit. Market says it's not legit.
I'm sure there's people in the chat somewhere out there who are saying, why are they talking about this? Because look at this market that we're in here. This is a state of the market that we're in. When we get an offer 300% over where the stock is trading, and the market doesn't even barely respond.
What about it?
It was a press. It was a press. He put the $60 bid. $60 above where it's currently trading. It went up $8. It's up 8. It's falling. I have no idea. This
sounds like an arbitrage opportunity for you.
Well, it does if you believe that this anonymous shareholder in this bid is legit. Like they're like going to take this bid and it's going to go out. Maybe we're going to laugh back and say, hey, that was one of the best opportunities of all time when this thing actually gets taken over at 77.58. But I think I'm going to err on the side of caution here. I look at this long-term chart on this DBGI. This was a $10,000 stock back in 2025. Baby. So I've had a few reverse splits in here. There's been a little bit of like, what do you call it? Death spiral financing when they keep doing offerings and all. Isn't that what it's called?
What?
Is that what it's called? It's like death spiral financing.
Yeah, that's what dry ships used to do.
Yeah.
They just keep printing money and printing shares, and then keeps diluting. I don't know if that's what they've done, but the chart sure looks like that. Anyways, we don't know the details here. We just know that the market is saying no. This isn't going to happen because it would not be trading $28 if it was $77 bid. So the market is responding with no, thank you. Interesting.
Thank you, Fee, for that heads up. Thank you, Dennis, for
now. 25. Is it going to try to go red on this? This is getting like a 25 seems pretty cheap.
Is this you said it was a press release?
It's like a press release formally, officially from DBGI. Yes. I mean, to say it, has anybody ever faked the
25, 26 seems pretty like.
Could someone get on the horn with them
and say, can you confirm this is?
I kind of want to buy 25, 26.
There's a typo.
I never made a trade in that. I kind of wanted. When it was offered 25, I was kind of wanted to buy it.
AMD.
All right, get off the screen before I make a bad trade here.
Yeah, you're the one that has it on your screen, I think.
I wanted to kind of when I went 25 off, I'm like, well, that's kind of like looking pretty good. Okay, AMD.
Jonathan says, can you confirm your confirmation? Yes. AMD report. We do have the AMD chart on screen. We do notice that AMD was hammered on this report. I am starting with that because this report was fine. Like this was not a blowout report. Maybe people really wanted a blowout report from AMD, but the report was fine. They report $1.66, a 5-cent beat. Sales beating fine, 11.54 billion. Analysts were around 11.3 billion. The guidance looks fine. It's not blowout. It's not worse. It's not better. It's right in the middle there. Expecting Q3 sales 12.7 to 13.3 billion. Analysts are around 12.5 billion. But AMD sold on this report even when Lisa Su got on the call around 5 or 5:30 p.m. She could not lift the stock. AMD shares here this morning trading down about 9%.
I also think the Musk commentary on NVIDIA was probably
Great
a little bit of pressure on AMD as well. So we're seeing NVIDIA's gain as AMD's pain to a certain extent. I own both these stocks, my long-term account, AMD and NVIDIA. About the same because I've sold I've sold some of my AMD. You know, we know I sold it like 400. I sold a bit more at 500. I'm still holding the last piece that I've got. I've got about a third of the original position here, maybe even half, almost half. So I'm still holding a pretty good chunk of AMD. I mean, the original position I have way more than I originally put in it because the stock went up so much. But you know, my cost basis there, I've taken that out and a little bit over that. But going back to AMD, I do think the commentary here where Musk is talking about NVIDIA being the best chips, and we're going to use NVIDIA. Probably not the best news for AMD here, obviously, with Lisa Su. Do I think the AMD story is over? No, I don't think it's over. I would sell all the stock. I think it's still an AI world. I think AMD is going to be a big piece of it. I think eventually we're going to see $1 trillion market cap on AMD, but it's not today.
Something else here that Gimme Thalwat is highlighting is AMD's. I'm looking at it here in the income statement. AMD's purchase of property and equipment for this quarter, effectively, its capex was $808 million. Last quarter, it was under $300 million. So that was quite a move higher in AMD's purchases of properties and equipment. Joel, anything exciting happening on the AMD chart, or maybe not exciting?
Yeah, no, well, first of all, pre-market low was 463.20, and no daily lows to give you much confirmation on that. If you're looking for real good lows, there is a double bottom area. This is base 455.30 or let's just call it 456. Don't know if you're going to get there today. First thing you got to do the pre-market low. What I want to know is it's trading right in its expected move. The expected move here of 42.80 puts it down right at the 75 and a half area. Bulls and bears are just contemplating what to do here. I'd have to say longer term, though, the way it failed at the 50-day up there, I think things turned. And I think you're going to see sellers here on rallies until you can regain that 50-day with a strong bid. I think, it's going to, it hadn't leaked as much as the other stocks, and maybe it's going to play catch up. This chart, even up to yesterday, does not resemble the Micron chart. It does not resemble the SanDisk chart here. So that's what I'm looking at for AMD. And
AstraZeneca breaking news. Thank you, Feehan, in the background. AstraZeneca Bristol Myers deal. Senior source Reuters reporting no deal, no discussions over an AstraZeneca Bristol Myers deal. So the AZN getting hammered from 170 to 155. Looks like they are not looking to merge with Bristol Myers, at least according to Reuters. Bristol Myers selling off a bit here as well on this news, but Bristol Myers kind of has already given it all back. So it popped about $3 and then gave it back here. So AstraZeneca was the one that really got hammered. They're like, oh my gosh, they're going to pay a lot for Bristol Myers. Looks like they're not. It's bouncing here this morning. So AZN BMY, no deal, at least imminent here.
Yeah, the street never really it bid on that one, but the initial reactions, when traded up to 71. This is what you like to look at when you hear these kind of rumors. of going back over here. I can make this a little bit longer of a time frame. Oh, well, wow. But I think we remarked on that day, a $5-6 move in Bristol Myers is a good move for a month or two. And then when you don't get any follow through, you can see people cha-ching, ringing the register here. Is it off? I mean, who knows? Or, is someone else? It seemed like to be a pretty big merger.
What it's saying is, I'm just clicking into the article, it's no discussions. So, I mean, they don't even say like they've had discussions here. They're not saying it's not possible. They're saying there's no discussions. So, it
never was
really
anything.
like it's imminent here. Yeah.
Yep.
So, okay, they're kind of squashing the rumor. So, back to AMD. I mean, Joel, just quick, look in here. Obviously, we got blue in the background here. We're going to jump in and talk say what the Fed's thinking here. But, I mean, 475, do we have a support? Like you're looking here for
No, you really don't. If you want good support, I mean, your 2-day, there's two lows. I'm going to call it 456.50. That's where the good support is if you can't hold the pre-market low. That's way below not way below the pre-market low. It's really in no man's land here, Dennis. Here you are, right here, 475. I mean, I guess if you want to do, I could do one thing, and then I don't know if we want to bring blue on a little bit early.
Yeah,
if you thought that, oh man, I should have bought AMD under 450. I missed the move. I was hoping that it would pull back after earnings. You had a 50% retracement of this move. that comes in it's like 475 too. Man, I can't get that number out of my head. 475, but it's it's breached the 50-day a couple times and is recovered. I don't know. It just seems like history when these stocks break the 50-day like that.
Yeah.
It just takes them longer and longer to recover. I mean, Sandus got all the way. Did it get to the 200-day? I mean, it almost got to the 200-day. So I know you like it, Dennis. I don't love it. I don't love it.
And I don't know if I'm buying the dip on it here. It's run a long ways, but I guess we're in the buy the dip market. So I own AMD, so I don't even buy the dip. I already own it.
I just wish I had my 2 calls that I bought like 100 years ago. Expired worthless.
Remember the stock at $2? Remember Kenny? Shout out the Warlock when we were in New York back in, was it 2018? I think it was. And Kenny's like, AMD is the stock. He liked that thing from like $13, and it's just continued to go higher here. So, yeah, Ace liked it too. Shout out to Ace. Where's Ace? Remember Ace back in the chat? We haven't seen Ace in a long time. He liked AMD back there at $2. I remember him speeching $2, $3. It was the stock. Shout out Ace.
We did just move lower in our SP 500 futures. There was data out at 8:30, but I don't really think that it would do it. I think we were just moving lower. The data that was there wasn't even a data out at 8:30. It was ADP that was out at 8:15. That was worse than expected. 44,000 versus 68,000 jobs. But again, that was at 8:15. So I don't know why we just pulled back there.
Maybe Blue knows.
Let's go. Let's see if Blue knows. Here we go.
Blue Putnam, chief economist for the Stock Trader Network, prediction market expert. Blue, how you doing today?
I'm having a good day today. Started early, got good coffee. It's all excellent.
Yep, it's all about the coffee. Okay, we did a lot of things that we could talk about here, but earlier in the week, some intervention in your alley, the Japanese yen here, and it wasn't a deep seep debacle. It wasn't, sometimes we get more violent reactions to that. I know you put out a nice piece here on the Japanese yen intervention in U.S. Treasuries. I can bring part of that up, or you could just give us the lay of the land here with the Japanese yen.
Yeah, we'll do the lay of the land. By the way, I love these foreign exchange topics. When I was in graduate school at Tulane, I wrote my PhD on foreign exchange, my dissertation. So it's great that, many decades later, I can still use that training. Anyway, intervention never works in theory. It works to immediately move the price in the direction you want. So the yen went from like a little above 160 to 157. It's a pretty good move. But intervention is just a way that the central bank comes in, slams it, usually in a less liquid market, like, say, Friday afternoon, and to have the maximum impact. But it doesn't change fundamentals. Japan didn't change their interest rate. Their inflation rate is still just around 2%, but might be going up a little. Their growth prospects haven't changed. Their fiscal policy hasn't changed. So unless you change those things, the long run path's not going to change. However, in this case, it just might change because Japan is a huge energy importer. And if the Iran war does wind down and the Strait of Hormuz opens up, that's a bouncy every day up and down. But if it were to happen, that would help the Japanese yen a little bit. And of course, they left the door open at the BOJ to raise rates later this year. So I'm not in the camp that just because they did intervention, it's going to reverse itself. But because there are some fundamentals that could work for Japan, but it was a pretty powerful effect.
Let's jump. Okay, go ahead, Joel. Continue.
No, I just see the nice bump here in the yen and getting up to the 50-day moving average.
What's the let's talk just jumping into this is a little bit of the another thing to worry about, the carry trade. And I mean, is this a legitimate concern here at this point in time? Like, is it to a point where we got to start worrying about this? Or are there bigger things to worry about here, Blue? Talk about the potential of the carry trade unwind.
Well, if you are doing the carry trade, what you do is you borrow in yen, 1% rates, and you lend or go long the currencies around the world, usually emerging market currencies with 5, 6, 7 or higher 10% rates. So you make a nice little piece of change unless the yen gets stronger, and then you get killed. So it's kind of like an option, like selling an option. Make a premium, make a premium, make a premium, boop, lose it all in an hour. So what it means for traders is that they have to maybe put on a little smaller positions. Their stop losses have to be a little further away because of the possibility of more intervention. So those are the impacts. But I'm not worried about overall the carry trade unwinding and hitting the overall stock market. That's certainly possible because the carry trade's pretty big and it's quite popular. But if it did unwind, I think the big impact would be on emerging market currencies, not U.S. stocks.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on to AI, and everyone talks about chips, right? And the bottleneck in chips, and we saw the rise in Micron and SanDisk. But you're thinking maybe the real bottleneck is in building data centers, and there's obstacles, 3 obstacles: electricity, water, local opposition. What poses the biggest threat to these massive data centers?
Well, it's politics, and we are in the season. You guys in Michigan just had a primary yesterday, but the politics of data centers are higher electricity costs, massive demands. A data center that's going near a city can sometimes consume almost as much power as half the city, and if it's a small city, more. So everybody's worried about the affordability issue in this political season. The solution for data centers is to bring your own power. New York State is saying that that's what they want people to do. Microsoft over in Pennsylvania is already signed a contract to restart 3 Mile Island, that nuclear disaster from 1979. So bring your own power as an answer to electricity. You could also have higher tiered pricing for big users, things like that. The next issue is water. Water is scarce, and we're not really making, it rains a lot these days with global warming, but we're not making any more water resources. So you really, if you were to put a data center in Arizona and want your water to, you need water to cool the data center. The Colorado River is running dry. That's not going to work. And if you're going to use the aquifers don't replenish themselves, at least not in our lifetime, not in 100 years or a couple hundred. So water is scarce. You cannot bring your own water. Well, unless you're on the coastline and have a desalination plant. So water needs a different solution. And the solution there is chips that can run hotter and efficiently. That is, NVIDIA is thinking about making new chips, and they can run at warmer temperatures. So your cooling center now with most chips needs to be at about 75 degrees, give or take a few. But these new chips, once they're out there, they might run at 100 degrees. So that would use less water. And then there's some cooling systems that don't need water. They're closed systems. So there are ways around that. And then the last political issue is noise. The fans in these computer centers, that's a nice big hum on the outside. On the inside, they're noisy as hell. And then they use the electrical systems put out a little hum. So there's a lot of, and by the way, if the electricity goes down, then the diesel generators power up, and then you got a ton of noise for a little bit. So noise is the issue that brings people out to their little county permit sessions, and they protest because they're worried about the noise affecting their quality of life and maybe their home values. So noise, water, and electricity, and they're all different and they're all political.
Well, let's just throw all these data centers in space like Musk wants to do. We don't have to worry about noise up there. Did you know up in space there is no noise because there's no air to transport the sound? Ever watch that movie Gravity? Everything's silent up there. It's like being noisy as they want. Nobody will hear it. Is this is there any possibility this could actually come to fruition? We could get Musk coming in, data centers in space here because it solves all your problems.
Well, they're thinking about it. Space is basically 0 degrees. It's cold as hell up there. And like you say, noise doesn't matter. But the problem, and you can generate power with solar panels up there very efficiently. So it's definitely possible and feasible. But then you got to get the data up there and you got to get the data back down. And there's a, well, this could bring us to a discussion of SpaceX or something. Anyway, it's a long way off, but it is technically feasible. You can dream it, let's put it that way. But it's not 5 years away, it's 10 or more years away.
I have to agree with you on that one, Blue. So if these things don't work themselves out, like the electricity, the water, or the local resistance, you're gonna have some and permits. Obviously, it's gonna have some infrastructure challenges. Could 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 investors be getting a little ahead of themselves with the future demand for AI chips?
Yeah, you were just talking about AMD and these companies, man. I got to tell you, they have the forecasts out there of how many chips are going to be sold are super aggressive. And they're only going to be delivered and sold if they can actually go into existing data centers. They have to build these things. So the permitting process and the political delays could be huge. So if you're really worried about that, you can short the Philadelphia Semiconductor Index, or you can go on Kalshi, and they got event markets on very specific NVIDIA chips. So there are ways that you can position yourself if you're worried about this. I do think it's going to be an issue in the midterm elections. There are just enough places, and there's enough voter resistance that the current kind of laissez-faire attitude the White House has about these things might get challenged. So I'm worried about it, but I'll get more worried about it as we approach the November elections.
Jobs, Friday. What's going to happen here? Jobs report on Friday. Tell us the future.
Well, I don't really do a very good job of predicting job numbers. I can tell you that. I can also tell you that knowing the ADP number doesn't help me at all. The two numbers are just very different in their monthly patterns. But, we're probably still in the no hire, no fire economy. So, the average guess would be maybe 50, 70,000 net new jobs. Unfortunately, for anybody trying to do this, the volatility in that number is huge. And we spiked up, then we came back down. So we could easily get another spike one way or the other. The seasonal adjustments for August and September are really hard. Labor Day is very late this year, as late as it can possibly be. And that affects when students go back to school, when teachers go back to work. So I am going to stay away from this number. It's a wild card. And by the way, it has no meaning because once it comes out, you can explain it away with seasonal. So I'd stay clear of it this month, but 2 or 3 starts to make a difference, but not the August number that's going to come out Friday. I'm going to avoid that one.
Yeah, I mean, at least the job apocalypse because of AI that was imminent, all these firings by these big tech companies, that doesn't seem to have a material impact yet. It's still kind of early in the early innings of that. I don't know if you saw that Ford let go a bunch of engineers because they were going to use AI, and they had to bring them back. So, and also, people that were worried with all the government jobs that were lost and the furloughs and stuff, that it was gonna have a negative impact. So overall, jobs market's been holding up pretty well. Looking out a little bit further here, Blue, 6 to 12 months. There's always this risk. There's always, what are the macro risks that we're not paying enough attention to? Currency markets, AI infrastructure crusades, or the labor market, or absolutely nothing. They should just delist puts.
I think we're actually a little worried. We're worried too much about the 6 to 12 month outlook. We've gotten so depressed. The polarization of the country and the politics gets us depressed. But the economy is incredibly resilient. It's not growing super fast. The last GDP, 1.5%, 1.7% real GDP. But, a recession just doesn't look like it's in the cards. There's tremendous resilience out there. So, I'm probably less worried than I should be.
Okay. All right. All right. Blue Putnam, chief economist for the Stock Trader Network, sharing his insights into this market. Really appreciate it, Blue. And for you that want more Blue content, he's all over the Stock Trader Networks, writes some excellent articles. We're going to be getting more from Blue here remainder of the year. Thanks, Blue. We'll be talking to you soon.
All right. Thank you.
All right. So you beat by 2 cents. And how much did your stock go up? 20. So if they beat
just to the moon. Actually, it's leaking a little bit, but it was up as much as
Shop.
29% here this morning. Shopify, we're talking about. Now it's only up 19, but this market is crazy under the hood. I know it seems steady as she goes when you look at the indices, but under the hood, there are crazy moves every day. This one may have been the craziest. Let's talk Shopify earnings here, Brentster.
All right. Shopify quarter was very in line. You guys said the 2 cent beat, 42 cents versus 40 cent estimate. Sales also beating pretty modestly here. 3.58 billion. Analysts were around 3.45 billion. The guidance was good. I will give Shopify that. The guidance was good. They're expecting Q3 sales about 3.75 billion. Analysts are down around 3.6 billion. But we looked at this move earlier. We looked at the report. We were like, all right, the report was totally in line.
Yeah, it should be up.
What
good
the
report.
heck is going on? This was like a lead piece of evidence, Dennis. You were like, look at these crazy moves under the hood. Look at Shop.
This one might have been the craziest one. I was jaw dropped because I looked at the report and I hadn't brought it up. I was like, oh, that's a pretty good report. It's probably up a little bit. It was up 29% when I was looking. I don't even know how high. It might have been over 30% at one point in time. Like you beat by 2 cents, you raise revenue guidance by, $0.15 billion. Like, like you're talking like 1 or 2% raises here when you give it context, like not huge beats. Up 29%? What the hell is going on in this market under the hood, Joel? Because I am like just astounded by how massive and violent these moves are in both directions. It hit $164.
Wait, 164?
What is going on?
Wait, it hit 164?
How much would it have been up at 164?
164.90.
$100 on 120. It was up 33%.
Yeah.
It was up 33% this morning. It's only up 20 now. What the hell are people doing? Is it just gone like, absolute bat-esque crazy? Like, what's happening here?
This is the market we've all agreed
Joel can't even, he's speechless. Yeah, 2 cent beat, a slight bump in guidance, and the stock goes up 33% on that report. I get it. It's software, and we're now hot for software. Like we were hot for hardware, now we're hot for software. And it is a software name. The IGV has been hot as hell here too. But come on, people. Shopify up 33%. Now it's only up 19. So it's given some of it back, or 20% here now. You can't keep up 19.
Give it back $20.
But it's even 19 seems ridiculous.
$17.
Listen to what you're saying.
Still up 24. Oh man. Okay. I don't want to get Palantired on this one, but I don't.
Yeah, that's just it. Microsoft set the tone. Microsoft has turned the entire. We talked about it, made the hardware. It's made software rally here too, though. Everything. It has set the tone. It is like there is no SaaS apocalypse happening here. Microsoft has the gap and go. It's up, put on whatever it is, almost $1 trillion in market cap in the last 4 days, and it has set the tone. So it has set the tone for software. We saw Palantir yesterday, same exact thing. The gap and go just ripping and nonstop. People are like, Shopify, got to buy it up 30 because it's going up 50. Well, maybe not. It's up 19 now. Wow, chasing. But chasing worked the last couple of days. So there are markets of chasing. I don't know if I want to chase something up 30% on that report.
I kind of feel like the pre-market high is in. It's a little bit of a different chart, and the Palantir kept climbing, but the fact that you're $17 off, let's just play it calm and say, let's move this line down here, and maybe some people are just looking for a gap fill. That could easily happen. So 155.57, that's up $8 from where we're at, and wherever you find an early morning low here, you could figure a little bit of a rebound, but way over the expected moves.
Way over the expected move and way overdone. But this is the market that we're
This
in.
is
We're
where
in this market that has extreme moves under the hood and just kind of goes steady as she goes on top of the hood. So there's a lot of crap happening underneath. Wow. That was a crazy move. So congrats to the Shopify longs. Very big congrats if you sold that this morning. But that at 30% felt like a gift here. Market's funny, man. This market's a crazy market here. So
let me just mention the other notable earnings reports and stop me when you guys want to cover one. We had Astera Labs, ALAB. That was easy. Okay.
Actually, it's barely moving, but cover it anyways.
Okay, so Astera Labs, pull up Joel's chart here on screen right now. Thank you, Trade Station. Astera Labs reporting 80 cents versus a 70-cent estimate. Sales beating pretty substantially, 392 million versus 361 million. They gave guidance, which looked really strong. They're looking for next quarter earnings $1.16 to $1.21. Analysts were all the way down around 80 cents for Astera Labs stock, trading up about 0.25% right now.
Yeah, but that's not the case off the initial report. This thing ran, Joel, up to 400, down to 335, and now it's flat. So, I mean, chasing went up 10% last night. Then it sold off 15. Now it looks like, oh, nobody cares about this report. No, they care. It's been all over the place here. So options, buyers and options sellers crying here now. But if you were selling last night, you're pretty happy about that. So huge overnight moves, even though we are completely flat here right now.
Boy, a tame chart to look at. It's so fun to look at this one. Once again, the 50-day coming into play. You had a significant decline, didn't quite get to the 200-day. It came back up to this level, peaked over yesterday. It comes in at 361.50. I'll see what happens if they like this report. They want to take it up there, work your way up. But right now, I'd have to look at the range from yesterday. Wow, the low was way down at 340. Let's see if we can get it green today. And reclaim that 50-day moving average for ALAB. I guess straddle sellers they're doing okay on this one.
Other earnings.
Do the game again. Start listing them off and tell you when to stop.
Cool. I like this game. All right. Disney. Eli Lilly.
Stop.
Okay.
Poor House of Mouse. Didn't get any love from me at all.
This is actually
okay, Lily.
Fun,
no,
it shows you. It shows the audience the stocks that you care about. So Eli Lilly reporting here $8.38 in earnings. Analysts were around $6. Sales also very strong, about 23 billion. Analysts were down under 21 billion. They did raise their 2026 sales guidance by about $3 billion, now in the range of 85 to 87 billion. Analysts are around 85.5 billion for LLY. Stock trading up a pretty nice 5% here.
Novo helped this stock because Novo came out yesterday and was just, guidance wasn't that great here. And they hammered NVO. You can see the move down here. So now the bar is suddenly lower for Lilly, and Lilly obviously always gets above the lower bar. Our company just, is great. Even though it missed here, the guidance was fine. So stock pops $50 here. I'm not chasing it though. Joel, thoughts?
It's under the expected move, so that just means there's sellers in the strength, in my opinion. We are going to be we're trading at 1170. Very important for this stock to get to the 4-day high at 1186.65 and see if you can work your way into the gap. I think the longer you take to get to that 1186.65 and fill the gap, maybe you find some sellers. You did get a pop in the pre-market over that level, so not by much though. No, it went higher. It went over 1190. Let me check. Pre-market high 1199 for Lilly, but so far trading under the expected move.
Back to the game.
Okay,
Joel, you stop him when you want. Joel, your turn to play stop.
All right, Uber, CVS. Anybody?
Keep going. Just keep going. We'll stay.
That was kind of what I had.
You're out.
Yeah,
Circle. Flutter. KTOS, Pinterest.
I don't know. Let's
He's not biting on anything, guys.
I don't know because Uber? Let's do Uber.
Okay.
Okay. Uber here. And then
Okay.
we are going to preview our earnings for tonight because we have quite a nice list for tonight. Uber.
ANET would have been a good one too. Okay.
Okay. Uber in line at 81 cents. The sales appeared to miss. They were around 14.2 billion. Analysts were over 14.2 billion. Their guidance was light also. They report, they expect Q3 earnings, 84 to 88 cents. Analysts are up over that range at 89 cents. Shares of Uber trading down about 3%. Shares of Lyft also indicated lower here with the Uber report, it appears.
I just can't get excited about Uber. And I know Robotaxi rollout has not been great. Uber's going to, participate, with some of these others, obviously, with their deals and stuff. It's 21 times earnings. The valuation's not crazy here either. Is it ripe for disruption? It is. Is it going to get disrupted? Who knows? I don't know. I'm torn on this one. I never really liked it for a long time, so I just can't bring myself to buy it.
Same thing here. I don't know why I stopped it. It just seems like dead money. I mean, it hit $100. It hit the same. I mean, it's just not. I mean, where's the improvement? Where's the people are going to be taking more Ubers? Gas prices higher. Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know.
It's a good point, Joel.
Meh. We'll just go like that.
Sorry.
We're going to do our DBGI update, though, here. So DBGI up at 36 here now. So it's climbed. Actually went up to 42. So I know there's a few people in the chat that actually had a good trade off of that. So 25, 27, when I had no business getting back up there. It's 77 offer. I'm like, even if it's not real, not bad news. Like I was trying to go red. So that was okay. Oh, okay. Gabe's paying us for Arista Network. So Gabe, we love you. We got to do ANET.
He says, can I take a chat poll, please? My Arista Networks position is now up 40% in 2 months. Do I sell or hold? I'm not seeking advice. Obviously, this is just for fun. Gabe, you're amazing. Thanks for that nice message and engagement with the chat. I'll pull up the chart here. Do we want the report?
Yeah.
Okay. Reports 102 versus a 90-cent estimate. That's a nice beat. Sales over 3 billion. Analysts were under 2.8 billion. That's also a nice beat. The guidance looks good. They're expecting Q3 earnings 106 to 108. Analysts are around 90 cents for Arista Network stock, up 10% this morning.
New all-time highs. I love stocks making new all-time highs. Because new all-time highs beget more new all-time highs. Now, it has been an incredible run. So I don't know if I'm chasing at this point in time, but there's going to be dip buyers here. So yeah, we can't give investment advice. Sometimes when I'm uncertain, what I do is I sell half and then I'm playing with the house's money to a certain extent, or, I lighten up. But I mean, stocks at all-time highs, there's nothing not to really like here.
Gabe, did you have an original target when you got in this? Or
I hate targets.
I'm asking Gabe. I'm not asking you.
So many traders.
Gabe,
I always want to interrupt this and rant about this because all is everything you see on Twitter. Here's my buy. Here's my stop. Here's my target. I absolutely hate that type of trading. Like it just I've tried that type of trading for 27 years. I have no idea how to trade that way. Here's your buy. Here's your stop. Here's your target. You know what happens all the time? Comes down to your stop, stops you out, and then it goes to your target. That's what happens on that. So I absolutely hate, I don't use stops either. I use when I'm my long-term portfolio, I sell when the story has changed. That's how I roll. And, I want on the headline trading we do in the think tank all the time, I want immediate gratification. I want to be in here and be like, okay, this makes sense here to me. There's a reason for this to move here. Here's why I'm in it. So, yeah. Anyways, that's my rant. This whole buy, stop, target. Screw targets. You buy and you sell. I don't need targets.
Okay, Gabe. I will say I would love to see it get back up to the pre-market high. 222.82 is your pre-market high. It's at 211.20. I want to, try and do a lot. I mean, if you just feel like you need it and you got a better place to put the money, yeah, you could do it. But see how it closes today. See the price action today. Get the good news, and then use that. Because chances are today is going to be the all-time closing high. You're going to have a nice gap to fill down to 195 eventually. So sit it out today. See how it trades, and best case scenario would be taking out the pre. market high.
I just checked the 9 a.m. news dump. I didn't see anything super exciting. Looking for any price action that might have moved stocks from the 9 a.m. press release dump. I don't really see anything. Cloudflare out with a couple press releases. They're fluffy, but Cloudflare is trying to draw some attention to a couple things. That's ticker NET that they are working on. Let me pull up Fee's calendar and we can quickly preview.
Wait, is there a season? Is it ever over?
It doesn't
never ends now.
It
Joel.
used to end, Joel. It used to end,
No,
and we would have a few weeks off. But now it kind of doesn't really end. It's like 1 week that we have off. So thanks for the sympathy, Joel, on that one for the SCN news desk. Dennis, was there anything from the nines that you saw? I want to just ask real quick.
No, I didn't see anything there either. So let's get this on the screen. Obviously, the big companies reporting here tonight are SanDisk and Western Digital. These are going to be market moving. Everybody's going to be looking at SanDisk. The thing moves around 10% a day without earnings. So what the hell is it going to move here with earnings? Who knows? I would expect them to absolutely blow earnings away. So the question is the bar, does everybody expect that to blow away?
And possibly high.
Like maybe, but I think they're going to blow earnings away. So I would want to be short into the report. It doesn't matter though. Again, this expectations is a lot of people think it's going to blow it away. So I'm not sure if everybody's thinking that could actually cause the stock to go down, but anything except a blow away and the stock tanks. So it has to blow it away. I think it blows it away though.
Boy, it is. I mean, just the breaks and the much lower highs. It's just, to me, and I know you had the Leo dump and everything, but man, well, 300 points away from the 50. I mean, there's a ways away. Will you see the 200 before you see the 50? I don't know. Much lower highs on this thing. So if you do get that $186 rip, I think you'd be finding willing sellers here after that massive decline. Western Digital, they're expecting a $61 move.
We got to say congratulations to Citadel and Kenny Griffin on the fabulous month that they had. In July, they're up 5.9%. It's a hedge fund. Hedge funds are hedged most of the time. 5.9% is blowing it away. So Leo's pain is Kenny's gain. Congratulations, Citadel, on your awesome month.
All right.
I don't even know what to say about that.
Yeah. I mean, it was 0.4% before.
Yeah, it was 0.4% they were up. No, we don't know that. They picked up 5%.
I thought I saw that.
Oh, you saw it? You did see that?
I thought I saw that. Yeah.
Somebody's estimating that Citadel gained an extra 5% on their overall hedge fund value because of Leo. No. Can't be.
Joel is looking right now.
Yeah.
Can't be that much.
Oh.
You may be right. Man, don't you wish you could have like $10 billion just to go and invest, when you're buying all these stocks at a discount and buying all Microns and SanDisk at the lows? Wow. The power of Citadel.
Nice to be Kenny.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't find that statistic.
All
but
good.
Okay. Anyways, we're going to get technical tomorrow with Frank Capillari. He'll be joining the show. And then make sure you guys are here on Friday. Ryan Dietrich making another appearance here on Pre-Market Prep.
Excellent.
Trading near the highs of the pre-market session in the 7,800 handle. Should be an interesting day here on Wall Street. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for watching Pre-Market Prep. Hit like, hit subscribe. Join the SCN think tank at stocktradernetwork.com.